Ghana for Muina Akwaba at the bar and Kasa TV. Dennis Marco Abuaje at the Inchenchimuaba concern the confusion a course between Dr. Parko si Indum and the banks are a guyeno. Now, Kofobi a gu Ghana bank who say this bank. Ghana by national bank Fado is responsible say bank see guya ono onim hu bia na se so Dennis Mrako Abuaje edi betu dra say first of all another bank bia another bank Fado the president enim sa banks we ni go no hwa na face to or protect future scams e be ko so tina e ba ne sa no na Ghana for something very interesting Dr. Parko si Indum ambassador no ebia ne banks egu anase bisa the first bank segu yenu amba bonta be cancer about to 3 months to election time now only for President John Dramani Mahama esusu hu about your banks egu Ghana for any sensama Dennis Marco Abuaje edutudwa ntia sembele kunokuti sa ensimu ntwemu mbra medamu ina ase
influenced by political connections. It happened in this country. Non-performing loans, inadequate capitalization, and mismanagement. Sabaima was cast a first bank. That's our first Canada could be a bank for mismanagement. Former Capital Bank CEO Niletena, Professor Kanwasemuno, it was reported online by CTFM online. Graphic online, non-performing loans, thievery by staff collapsed UT Bank. We see you Nagasa account. Or say the bank, the NTM now, Emma Bank, egu, because Omuma loans and microphone bank the staff from area nesika and the stories go on and on and on and on and on. Now Bank of Ghana shares here. In fact, Bank of Ghana's investigation conducted revealed also that a significant amount of 62 million and $62 million, about 718,000. And another 4,200 euros of deposited funds held with GN Bank had been transferred to International Business Solutions, another company owned by the GN Group Indum and which is based in the USA, without any documentation to support such transfers in breach of Section 19 of the Foreign Exchange Act, Section IV of Bank of Ghana notice number, and subsequently Bank of Ghana notices issued. Like I said, facts only. The fact of the matter is that Bank of Ghana investigation say GN Bank in Peninfo, FA, wo enemy, any Ghana for Mudi Omusika Koto Bank and Sika. At the call America Burchibemu, say Omo Kwako be a bank for fro, Wabra no Muntu Mintu Ya Wusika Emma. Your video be if you had that video, if you can play it briefly.
Receipt for her mortgage, handwritten.
It's like the Flintstones. That's what I call it.
The Stone Age paper system is why Stewart pays her mortgage in person.
I always write the address, my mother's name.
She wants proof she paid.
The check number.
She doesn't trust the bank's record keeping, and if anybody has a good reason not to, it's Stewart.
I always cry, and I think about my mother and what they did to her.
Here's what they did. In 2018, GN Bank sold the mortgage on this house, her mother's house, along with many others, to York Properties. It just so happens that the chairman of GN Bank also manages York Properties.
Prof, so this is the situation. Inti ufa deposited sika in Ghana, edeko America, so ukwa could be another bank of America. I want for Bank of Ghana mbra kwanso. Na ene same deposit about bank so be sika. They want to be in Yamana. We say a buying because a buying the taxpayers' money amount. Grounds on revocation of GN Bank's license. And no, I think Prof mentioned a lot of them, but I mean, of course, GN Bank adjusted net worth was negative, 30 million. Of course, I offer deposits sika around the America could be a bank for free without Bank of Ghana documentation. I always struggle. GN Bank had capital adequacy ratio of negative 61.20. GN Bank was facing a severe liquidity crisis with numerous complaints received by the Financial Stability Department. The structure of GN balance empty a lot of the issues, and these are issues are for 18 reports, 18 documents. Government endeavor collapse GN Bank. Banks na yeka omubo mu na. Yeka omubo mu no. A omo form CBG no. Omo nyina. Usebi. You just go to any CBG brand. No akodi usika. No akwa transact with business. Normal. Again, this is very important. no bank was collapsed by the NPP government. CBG Bank, Ebra GCB, Ghana Commercial Bank, Ecofa, Capital Bank, and UT Bank, no, and I buy say, Sikana and Kayadebema Capital Bank in Penny 40 Senia, and this are binding kind of more almost share, no. So, I'm fan saving depositors funds, any depositors Sikano. Yeah, found Capital Bank in UT Bank in Penny Phobium, because someone who so share. It's a GC Bank. J. Nafa share sa bank way eso. Na make sure say obebo mo ho ban. Na omo depositors sika dey are protected. That is the decision the NPP government through the Bank of Ghana has taken to ensure say over 4.6 million Ghana for mako 4.6 million na nkomusika ebe shekwa the way microfinance companies no ehye and the NDC no. Government ensure that GCB will protect these depositors. And under NDC, when the microfinance companies were struggling, this is what people keep saying. Say, oh, but they never talk about their depositors now, or musika and so on. And the NDC had a choice. What do they have to do? They have to fix this microfinance industry. In order to ensure, say, either say, best savvy owners of the bank, no, and they best savvy employees, no, and they best savvy depositors, no. Omutla wa ye higher Emma Adienu Guye. And at the end of the day, no, NDC 4 position was that we should just leave it and pretend as if it doesn't exist. And no, in the owners of 82 microfinance companies under the NDC. Estimated of about 22,000 employees on Juma. What say normally microfinance companies omo doso omo come market e ko ticket omo ye daily susu e doso omo nyumagu ye and na afa estimated of about 8 million vulnerable depositors. Again, when say microfinance bodwa for no doso hu ne sa no a lot omo nyina so e ho chi omo. Until you see indecision by the NDC, lost owners of the business, 22,000 employees estimated 8 million vulnerable depositors. But the NPP government decided to save the situation. Of course, so we are owner of Capital Bank. Now say NPP are buying this side. They say, yeah, the Wusikano, Anke, the Bema we say you buy him farmer will be because the Bema will now share. Into the Bema GCB, not GCB, the owner of Capital Bank said the Jumanegu. Of course. Because we losing the business. Yeah. The depositors are there. Is safe. Yeah. Employees, you know, about 50% of the employees of these banks, about 50%, almost more than that, were absorbed. It's GCB. It take over Capital Bank, UT Bank, no. Employees don't need more UT Bank, they be almost formal. And employees need more, say Capital Bank, they be almost formal. Sa pencil and CBG employees need more will be na formal. The fact is that no correct. In the process, some people lost their jobs. In the process, some people lost their jobs. Some people lost their companies. But the fact of the matter is that under the NDC, everybody lost their microfinance companies. Everybody lost their jobs and everybody lost their depositors. Under MPP, some people lost their banks. Some employees, in fact, all the 8 owners obviously will lose their bank. But some employees actually did not lose their jobs. But genuinely, admittedly, some lost their jobs.